morning, we're getting to learn more about a summer camp for kids who have gone through moments that many of us can relate to. Ansley Watson learning more about what this is all about. Good morning, Ansley.
Good morning, Vicki. You know, I've had so many great memories growing up from summer camp. And this morning we're going to be talking about a specific summer camp that is not only so fun and so great, but it's also a great healing time. So it's called Camp Star, and it's a bereavement camp for youth. It's a place where kids can go and talk about memories and thoughts of loved ones who they've lost. And it's also a place where they can sit down with buddies who can listen and maybe even relate. So this morning we're going to meet up with the president of Camp Star and talk about why this place is so special. So stay with us. Reporting live in Marquette, Ansley Watson, TV6 News.
Thank you so much, Ansley. Looking forward to hearing more about that. As we start up, we were just commenting, it doesn't even look like she's standing in a real place this morning. That is just beautiful.
Beautiful morning.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea that she has her winter coat this morning, though.
A little chilly?
Yeah, so right away in Marquette.
Camp Star. It's a special time for children to attend when they have lost someone close to them. This morning, Ansley Watson tells us more about what the camp is all about and what it means for those who are in attendance. Good morning, Ansley.
Good morning, Vicki. I can tell you right now that this camp means so much to so many people. And joining me to talk more about that is Dr. Larry Skinzel. He's the president for Camp Star. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining me on this gorgeous, gorgeous morning.
Thank you so much, yes.
So Camp Star started about 5 years ago.
Yes.
When did this whole program begin and why?
Well, there was a recognition that kids in our community, young people in our community who have experienced loss didn't have a place to share those experiences, that oftentimes they're the only person in their class that's had a loss like that, either a parent, a grandparent, a sibling, and so they felt so alone. And the experience then didn't feel normal to them. But we found that once we got these kids together so that they could compare notes about the experience, that all of a sudden they said, you know what, I'm perfectly normal and this is okay. And you know, now I just have to keep in touch with my experience and my feelings, and I need to put some words around them so that I can continue to heal.
You were telling me earlier that one of the biggest things is getting the kids there. The parents kind of don't want to have those kids open up those wounds. They think that the kids are fine, but really they need to go and just talk about this.
Yes, our experience has been that the parents are worried that this might open up fresh wounds, but in fact, most of the time we find that the kids come, they really want to talk and honor their loved ones, and once they're with other kids who have had a similar experience, that the words really start coming and they feel this intense sense of relief, because sometimes in a family what happens is there's a lot of protecting one another from the memories, and so this is a way to just allow that child to really grow in developing language around the experience.
Now, the whole experience isn't just about talking about your grief, but it's also so fun. What do these kids do whenever they get to camp?
Right, so it's at Bay Cliff Health Camp, second weekend in August, and it's a full camp experience. There's swimming, there's lots of horsing around and hiking, getting out into nature. So I find that camp is full of joy and full of laughter, just like any other camp that you'd have over a summer.
Now, each kid is paired up with a buddy. Talk to me about who these buddies are and what they do for the kids.
Right, so the buddies are ages 19 to around 28, and they are young people in our community who come to be paired one-to-one with a child, and they are oftentimes firefighters, veterans, sometimes medical personnel, and their job is to partner individually with each child, give them the sense that there's someone who's going to listen and be a special sounding board for them through the weekend, and that issue of giving them that much attention, really the children just blossom under the attention that the buddies are able to give. And then the buddies learn a little bit about not only what this child's experience has been, but they oftentimes learn a little bit about maybe their own losses, and they're able to speak a little bit about how their losses have affected them.
Now, real quick, registration is coming up for kids to apply to go to camp. How do they do that?
They do that at our website at upcampstar.org, and there's a registration form there, and we'd love to get as many registrations and even inquiries about, well, I just don't know, but I'd like to talk to someone about it, that's perfectly okay. We want to talk with you and then hopefully develop a relationship, because we have other activities like the Best Day program, which is a horseback riding experience or an archery experience that kids can do, so that there's lots of other things. If they just feel like this isn't the right time for camp, we'll find other ways to be available to them.
All right, thank you so much for being with us. Stay with us. We'll talk more about it later in the hour. Reporting live in Marquette, Ansley Watson, TV6 News.
Thank you very much, Ansley. Again, we can see it's just a beautiful sunrise out there this morning.
Yeah. Welcome back. Well, many youth across the UP attend a summer camp to not only have fun, but to heal and grow. Ansley Watson has more on what this camp is and does for those who need it. Good morning, Ansley.
Good morning, Sam. You know, Camp Star is a great place for kids and youth to go if they've lost somebody really close to them, and just go and talk freely about that. Joining me this morning to talk more about that is Dr. Larry Skinzel, and he's the president for Camp Star. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we're talking about how this is a great place for kids to go to talk freely about the ones that they've lost. But sometimes they go and they don't want to talk about it, but maybe towards the end of the week they open up some more.
Right. I think that we talk a lot about how feelings are like clouds in the sky, and when they come, they always go, and so that it's okay to not let them get stuck. And so sometimes what we're feeling is intense joy, and we just want to laugh and have fun. And then other times we might have a moment where we remember something that was really, really important about our loved one, where we might feel a little bit of regret or sadness, and that's okay too, because it's going to go away. And then so we try to mix camp activities so that there's lots of high energy and fun, and then there's moments where they can do a little processing and put some new language around the experience.
Now, whenever the kids get there, there's a activity that they participate in that deals with a rope, and there's some meaning behind that. What is that?
Well, we try to use ritual as a way of helping children understand that they are connected, that they may feel very alone at times in their feelings, but that in fact we have the ability to reconnect to each other. So we use the rope ceremony as a way of helping remind them that they are not alone, and that there are people that are connected to them, that love them, and that we want to keep that feeling of connection going, because that allows feelings to move without us getting afraid of them. When we're afraid of feelings, we tend to let them get stuck, but when we're feeling connected, we can let the feeling flow.
You're also saying how they're paired up with a buddy. And sometimes, you know, the kids talk about their feelings and they don't want to cry, but then, you know, once the buddy starts opening up as well, maybe they might shed a tear or two, and that's really huge for the kids to see.
Right, we've really been impressed by how this helps the child who's experienced loss know that it may be very normal, if you're a male, for example, to occasionally shed a tear, that it's not abnormal. And sometimes in some family settings, that's not always acceptable to have a male cry, and so this is an opportunity for them to see that it's all normal and it's all okay. And it's also okay to, right after having those intense emotions, to go out and play and have a lovely time, experiencing climbing a tree or running, playing tag.
At the end of camp, they do a memorial service. What does that entail?
Yeah, so the children are invited to come up if they'd like, and to do some sort of an honoring of the loved one in front of their family. It's a really beautiful ceremony where children are able to talk about some of the things that they especially want to honor about their loved ones. So it's certainly a very heartful and full-hearted part of camp.
If you listen to some of the kids, they have such great experiences from them. I mean, there's so many deep feelings come out of this, but they have so much fun. You see the joy on their faces as well.
Absolutely. I think that that's the thing that is so important, that parents understand that, you know, they worry that, is this going to be a very sad camp? And in fact, it's not. There's lots of joy and laughter and fun, and so that is the majority of the time. When kids are allowed to honor the people that they've lost, then they feel this sudden joy at being able to be in touch with them and remembering them and being connected to them again in a special way brings a lot of energy to camp.
Now camp starts in August, but now is the time to register. How would people do that?
Yeah. They do it at upcampstar.org to register, and if they're interested in volunteering or being buddies, then we'd also be very interested in having them go to upcampstar.org and to fill out a volunteer application.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Reporting live in Marquette, Ansley Watson, and we'll be back with more of your TV6 Morning News after the break.